Hey everyone, this is Clayton, and today I've got a broken necklace. And you know what? Let's see if we can fix this. Hi everyone, this is Clayton from the Sand and Shore Shop, and I take things like this and turn it into stuff like this. Come and watch me make shiny stuff. Hi everyone, again, this is Clayton, and as I was saying, I've got a broken necklace. This is one of the quahog clam shells that I carved several years back, and you can see it fell off an armoire, which was about maybe 3 foot off the ground, that sitting on the top, and it just got knocked off. I mean, stuff like that happens. But now we're going to see if we can fix this. Stuff like this happens. I mean, these are seashells. I mean, it can be quahog clams or and you see stuff drops again. Anyways, it can be a quahog clam or any other type of clam shell, but these are natural shells. They are not made out of steel. You know, they are not they are durable, but they are not super tough. As I was saying, these shells are not super tough. They are very sturdy, but when they're carved down, you know, into a thin area like this, like these two sides there, you know, they're gonna, if you drop them 3 foot off the ground, they're gonna break, especially if they hit a tile floor. And that's basically what happened here. It fell down and crash. But this, you know, this is repairable. If you can look right there when I put them together, you can barely, if at all, see the, well, if I do that and break it more, the fissure, you can hardly see where it's cracked. This side, though, you know, we've got a little bit bigger, but still, I don't think it's going to be a very difficult repair. And what we're going to do is we're going to fix it and use the Kintsugi style to fix this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some 2-part epoxy, and I have to make a little jig of sorts to hold this together till it sets up, because the last thing I want it to do is to you know, be sitting there and come open while the epoxy sets. So let me get some stuff prepared and I shall be right back. Alrighty, I'm going to mix up a small amount of epoxy. Where's my mixing stuff? Of course my mixing stuff isn't here, and why should it be where I put it? Finally found one. What I'm going to do here is mix up as equal amounts of epoxy as I can get. Need to mix this. Oh, seriously? Sometimes if you mix too small an amount, it doesn't mix properly. I'll be cutting ahead till this is done, because it takes a while to mix it up properly. Okay, I think we got this about prepared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of this pigment in with this. I would rather not do it this way. Seeing how this is so tiny, I may have to just settle with this. This doesn't really weaken up the epoxy. But if I could do it without it, if it was bigger, I would, after I made sure it's nice and solidly glued, I would grind the crack away just a little bit and then fill it in with a nice deeply colored, I think we can put a little bit more pigment in there, a nice deeply colored table coating, and not just the epoxy. So there we have a fair amount. That seems to be pretty good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this on, you know what I need? I need all kinds of help. That's what I need. We need a brush. I want to get as much of the epoxy in the cracks as possible without smearing it all over the place. So I shall brush on a thin layer. Oh, this is starting to get tacky, which is great. Tacky! And depending on how this looks, we may end up backing it. It's not a big issue if it smears out a little bit, because I'm still going to be grinding it down and repolishing part of it. Okay, there we go. Now, set this out of the way, and then the pieces go together like so. And you see that it is poofed out. That's what we want. Now, what I've got here is electrical tape. And if I do this properly, I can pull this kind of tight and get that held together nicely. You know, sort of like clamping it. Electrical tape is good for sort of like a clamp on an odd size or an odd shaped whatever it is. Oopsie, I'm shifting back here. Yeah, if you can see in there, it's pulling away at the front. That's it. I did not want to happen. I may have to unclamp my clamp. Okay, we got plenty of time here. Oh, it's gonna have to sit over there. This works if the thing, I have to throw that tape away. Away with ye, thou evil tape. Okay, I'm sorry I'm not on the camera. But there we go. We've got this glued together like that. So I may just have to sit here and hold this for a while until that settles. And I can see here, I used some epoxy to adhere this to the back. This is the, why am I way off camera? This is the bail. I tried several different bails on this thing, and I didn't like any that covered the face of it. So that's why I decided on this. I made this little bail up and then attached it with epoxy onto the back. And it's held really well. Okay, so like I said, I'll have to let this dry. I have to hold on to it for a while. Which isn't a big issue. You can see this stuff starting to get tacky already, which is good. Tacky, tacky, tacky. Like, I don't think we need any more anywhere on there. Maybe I'll just fill this hole up here. Because? Why? Well, because I can. I'll probably regret doing that because I'll have to lean it against there or something. So there we go. So I will be back after this is solidified, hardened, and is holding this together. And we will finish this up. And we'll see if we can make it look better than new. Actually, Kintsugi is a Japanese method of fixing broken pottery and dishes. The idea is that just because it's broken doesn't mean it's worthless or needs thrown away. It can be fixed, and they fix it with lacquer, a lacquer glue, and then fill the cracks that's visible with lacquer and gold pigment, or actually powdered gold or some other type of precious metal. And look, I just stuck my finger in and I filled in. See if I have enough time to fix that. I knew I was going to do something stupid, but that's what makes it fun. Anyhow, this is about dry enough that I can probably set it down. So I will be back when it's ready to go into step 2 or 3. Which step is this? Step 2, 3, or 4? Okay, I'm back, and we are, well, we got rice stuck there. I stuck it in the rice to hold it. So we are pretty much reattached, and the glue seems to be holding real well. And we've got that faint bit of gold coloration. So the next thing to do is to carefully grind this down smooth again. And then I'll probably be putting another layer or two. You know what, I might just chip this off with a knife. I'll get this smoothed off, and then I'll be maybe putting another layer in that crack to fill it up. Make sure that it is filled up nicely, because we don't want... See, I'm also going this way across with the crack, because I don't want to go this way and cut down in and make a divot, make it any bigger than it is. So you see, I can just cut that off. That side's pretty nice. You know, I was thinking I might be able to, grind the edge of that, a bit of that seam out and fill it in better. We shall see. I may not have to do anything but polish this. Yeah, this might take a while, but yeah, that I may have to grind down a little bit. I'd like to avoid grinding as much as possible. It seems pretty sturdy. I feel a little bit of... Sorry, I'm concentrating, so I'm not speaking a whole lot. Well, actually, that looks fairly good as is. Like I said, I'll have to grind this down a little bit. Well, look at that. I'm just going to end up pulling that right out with my fingers. So guess what? I won't be filling that in. I should have roughed that up, because what it is, and I didn't even think about that when I did it, because I did it on a whim there. Get the big dental pick of destiny out here. This area all around here was very smooth. It was, it's been polished. It's polished smooth, so the epoxy's not going to hold real well against that. I would have had to roughen it up. Where it broke, it was, it was already rough. Yeah, so got that out of there. But what we got here is pretty much repaired. You can see the gold where the crack was, and actually it's not too bad that way. I think after just a little bit of polishing, that'll look pretty good, and I may not be doing too much else to it, because you want to see the gold. You want to see the gold line where it was fixed. And if worse comes to worse, what I can do is rough this entire back up, because I'm going to fix this. If it breaks again, I'm going to completely redo it. I'll rough this and take this bail off, rough this entire back up. Actually, I might leave that on and then rough the entire back up. And then I will pour the hard tabletop coating with the gold pigment in here and completely cover the back, and then cut the heart shape out here so that it'll be encased, the entire back will be encased in a nice hard coating, and that should hold it really, really well if this doesn't work. But I'm pretty sure this will work. Most of the time, if I have to glue something like this, it is not that difficult to glue. So let me give this a quick polish and I'll be right back. Okay, well, that didn't take too long. And it doesn't look a lot different than it did like a minute ago. Like I didn't polish up the back, I just polished up the front. So that's pretty much it. Let me put this stuff out the way. Oh, we got stuff everywhere. All right, so I would say this, if it focuses, is a win. So if you liked the video, hit that button down there, subscribe, and I'll be making more. Thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.